Welcome back, everybody. Bob, the Vape Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at a tank from Geekvape, the Zeus. Is that clear? Alright, so I really like the looks of this tank. Looks cool on whatever you put it on. I just like that kind of matte finish that's on there. As for vaping, let's go down the table and look at it first, then I'll tell you what I think about its vaping. Alright, so today we're taking a look at the Zeus RTA by Geekvape. Alright, let's take a quick look at the package first, then we'll get down to the tank. You get plenty of O-rings, you got your adapters, you got everything here. You got, here's a 510 Driptip. Alright, you got these different kinds of tips, as you see. You have an 810. You have this wide, thick one. You have the 810 that goes inside. Alright. You got a 510. Well, you got to use the adapter for that. Alright, adapter's there. You got extra O-rings, you got extra grub screws. You get an extra glass, of course. You get your little screwdriver tool, and you get a couple of coils. I didn't like the coils that came with it. Alright, I don't like these kind of, almost like braided coils. I didn't find that to work too well for me. And inside you have the manual on the bottom. So let's move that aside. And let's zoom in and take a look at the tank itself. So here is the, let's throw the drip tip back on there so it looks normal. And there we go, that's the Zeus RTA. Alright, top airflow. Basically with this, think OBS engine, okay? Same kind of general design and function the way it works. A very protruding 510 pin. You got Zeus RTA on the bottom, designed by Geekvape. Really nice looks. I love the way this looks. I just cleaned it out, so it's still a little wet inside. Alright, I really like the looks of this. Again, drip tip. Filling on this. It's just a quick, quarter turn there. Pops open. Dual Cylon slots for filling. Nice big cushy O-ring on top there. You can see the little gap there. Basically your top is going to go down and turn into those slots. You can see on the top the little slits there. So you just put it on till you feel it, give it a quarter turn, and it's on. Airflow ring, nice and smooth. You can take the airflow ring off for cleaning. When you pop off the top, the airflow ring will come off. You got an O-ring over here. I did damage the O-ring once on here, and this is a replacement. It goes on there nice and easy. I damaged it just trying to push it on there. I seem to rip it off, so just be careful of that. All right. Open at the bottom. I do have a coil in there. Alright. Take a look in here. And you can see basically how your airflow moves on this thing. Going down from the top, around through that inner chamber. You can see from the illustration on the screen. Alright, take a look at the base. Like I said, I do have a coil in there that I put in a different coil. Single coil build. Your screws are in the side here. Okay, flathead screw on both sides. You loosen those up, you lower your coil down, you tighten the screws. Alright, pretty simple. Got these little barricades over here that you'll see how that works when it goes back in the top. Alright, and as you see, let's grab something to point with here. Your wicking is going to go down into this chamber right here. This is your wicking area. So you want your coil at that kind of an angle, so as the cotton comes out, the cotton's going to go right down into there. If you were to put your coil this way, then your cotton's going to have to go out to the side quite a bit. So you just got to make sure your coil is the right way over here. Okay? And we can wick this up in a moment. You can see here, when you put this in, those two walls, if you want to call them, are going to go into those two slots over there. So you put it in, you turn it till that slides in, and then when you tighten it up, you're going to see the whole thing. Well, I got to grip it. There we go. Makes a nice tight seal in there. Let's throw it on a mod. Well, actually, let's open it up. Let's wick it up. There's new coils. Give it a quick dry burn here. Glowing nice and even. Let's get some cotton. Alright, so we got some cotton here. And it's easy. Single coil build, like I said, you want it to come down into those two side slots. Zoom a little more for you there. Come on. Alright. Now as for cutting it, you can pretty much eye it, but if you go down here on the side, you see where it's going to fall right into over there. So you want to go just a little bit below that. And again, that's just going to come from a little bit of practice of knowing where to cut it. But if you do it about there, I usually go right up against the side. Same as the OBS engine. That always seemed to work for me. Right up against the side of the tank. Give it a cut. Right. Now getting your cotton to stay down there, as you see, you're going to want to place this in here. It's not going to tend to stay. You really got to wet it, and then you'll get it to stay. You can comb out your cotton a little if you want. I'm not going to do too much on here. Just a slight bit. Make the fibers a little looser. Alright, let's get some juice. I'm going to throw a little bit of Pancake Man in there. You don't have to totally saturate the cotton at this point, but getting your cotton wet like this will make it a lot easier to get your to get the cotton to stay in the chamber, you know, in the actual wicking slot. All right, as you see, it stays down a lot better that way when it's wet. All right, so you can have it flow slightly below it. You can have it flow a little more under there. Either way seems to work fine. The juice is going to pull itself up through there. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and throw this back on. All right, open that top up. You don't really have to here. It's not going to make a big difference, but I always close off the airflow just by habit. See, I'm still got plenty of room in there for juice. Should be good. Throw that on, lock it down, airflow opens. Let the cotton get a little bit saturated, and we're ready to vape. So let's go back up on top and talk about it. So I was disappointed with this. This is like the OBS engine, which pretty much undisputable is an excellent tank. This is the same kind of design. My battery door just fell off. Look at that. Which is pretty much the same kind of design. But I've tried this with... Now something just fell on my shelf. All right. 0.2 ohm coil, ohm coils. 0.4, 0.5, 0.8, 1.0 ohm coils. I've tried with different kinds of juices. I'm just not happy with it. And it's kind of hard to say why. It's just not... When I use lower ohm coils... I'm not getting the wicking as good, and trust me, I know how to wick it. I've re-wicked it many times. I've had no gurgling. It's not going to flood because it's top airflow, but no gurgling, no dry hits really. It's just something not right. I don't know if it's how that coil is laid out. I don't like the coils that came with it all, but you know, I've tried 4 or 5 different of my own coils in here. And I just think there's a lot better options out there, and I'm really disappointed because I really love the look of it. I think it's a good-looking tank. That little quarter turn to pop open the top for juice fill is wonderful. The airflow is nice and smooth, both the airflow control ring and the actual airflow. Right now I got it with a 0.85 ohm coil in here at 30 watts. I'm trying all different combinations on this thing. Let me take a few vapes. And it's vaping fine there. It's just nothing great, you know. It's not doing anything. Let's pop it up at 35 watts. I've been jumping all up and down with every coil trying to find a good vape. I mean, it's fine. You know, it's not. There's nothing bad about it. You got to make sure when you put your coils in, that you angle them right so that you get the wicks are going to go down properly. You don't put it straight across. You got to put an angle, as you saw in the up close. and it's okay. It's just nothing great. I'm not getting a great flavor out of it. I wouldn't go to this first. I would go to some other tanks. I'd go to the engine before I'd go to this. So that just makes it a little disappointing because it looks so good. I was hoping it would be as good as the engine, maybe even better. And I could say, wow, what a great tank. I'm really happy with it. It's also a single coil. I prefer dual coils. You get more flavor off 2 coils than you get off 1. You burn in twice as much vapor. So I really do prefer a dual coil. For a single coil, I'd only go to single coils from mouth to lung. That's just my preference. Obviously, you can use less battery power on a single coil, so that would be nice. But if you're not getting the flavor and the vapor production that you want, what's the point? I'd rather swap batteries more often and have a better vape. Where with this, as a single coil, I'm just not getting as satisfying a vape. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. I mean, it's fine, but if I'm going to do a single coil, I'm going to do something a little more restrictive, more of a mouth-to-lung vape, and when I do a dual coil, I expect more flavor, and the clouds aren't as much of a concern. I don't care if you get almost no clouds if you're getting a ton of flavor, but they usually go hand in hand. So, again, nothing bad about it. It's just there are better options out there. I wish this was a little bit better of flavor coming out of it, and it's hard to say why. I guess just the way the air is going down and back up, it's just not coming up in a way that's giving me all the flavor. Something like I've tried 3 different juices. Something like this Pancake Man on a dual coil build is wonderful, and on here it's maybe 70% of what I would get on that in terms of flavor. So, it's okay. If you're used to single coil builds and you want that, then this might be good for you. I just think there's better options. I would still say if you're looking for something like this, go with an engine. And I know it's different tank, different coils, but I still think that's a better tank. So, a little disappointed, but there you go. That is my review of the Geekvape Zeus. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon.